Hello, and welcome to Grind Force Gaming's Street Fighter Duel Show. Today we discuss new characters Trendy Cammy, Gore Ken, and Street Poison. We recap the Monster Hunter event, and go over the new game mode Effigy Clash. And we give some tips and tricks that might help you along the way. So without further ado, let's grind. Welcome into Grind Force Gaming Street Fighter Duel Show. I'm JB, here with my fellow partners in grind, Datscat, Nova, and Falcon. It's great to have you guys here. How you doing today?
Up, everybody.
Doing well.
Excellent.
Good to be here.
It's good to be here as well. I also have some exciting news. I'm now a father for the second time, which is awesome.
Father of two.
It's a
Congratulations
whole new grind.
Congratulations.
Salt and pepper, baby. Let's
That's-
go.
I think that's the ultimate grind. Right?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Well, that's not the only exciting news. There's been a lot going on in Street Fighter Duel. I've been personally having a blast. I think I speak for all of us saying we're having a great time. But now we just finished up, our first big event, the Monster Hunter event. We've got 3 new characters, Gore Ken, Trendy Cammy, and Street Poison. And we've got a new game mode, Effigy Clash, so there's a lot to talk about. I think I'm going to start with the new characters and go through those 3. I'm going to kind of revert to you guys. I haven't had a lot of time to test. I've had a lot of things going on, obviously. So whoever wants to go and take one of the characters that you've been testing out, one of the new ones.
I'll start with talking about Trendy Cammy a little bit. I think that Trendy Cammy is kind of a niche player. She does some really cool things. I don't have her quite leveled up to the point where I can sub her in replace of another fighter, just because my other fighters are built too much. But I was checking out her skills, and her ability to stack shock damage fits into my lineup really well because I have a poison built very high and a Blanca built very high. Both do shock damage. So I'm really, really interested in seeing how I can sub her in. Um, and she would fit where I'm using Chung Li currently in the second slot, and maybe even her first skill, the combo starter. Um, it's just really, I think it has potential to hit really hard. I'll read that first skill really quickly here. Um, so basically, she kicks multiple targets, each dealing 725% of attack, and then has a 30% chance to inflict shock. And then as you keep leveling her up, um, the shock or the damage increased by 15%. And then if you have her starting and then have Blanca go, that stacks more shock. And then if I have maybe her go again with her second skill, which stacks more shock. No, her second skill does the dispel and healing. So that would help replace the Elena need. And then poison just goes and just nukes everybody, and it's sweet. Or you could do poison with the AoE. That also stacks shock, and then maybe Trendy Cammy for the finishing blow. Which, if the target is inflicted with shock damage, it just reduces the target's defense, enables guaranteed crits, and hits them for that extra shock damage. So that might be the play, where
I was going to say, I think that might be the move.
you do Trendy Cammy, Blanca, uh, Poison AoE, and then Trendy Cammy again. It might be devastating. I really am excited. I've been trying to get her with the divinations so hard, and I just haven't been fortuitous, I guess. But yeah, that's Trendy Cammy in a nutshell. But if you're not building shock damage, I think she really might not be the character for you. I think you might want to think about a different master class or a different Inferno class character.
If
Of
you were
course,
considering building Shock, though, would you recommend building her first?
no, you need M Bison. You need
Well,
M
not
Bison.
yes for that, but for Shock, though. I mean, like if you were about to build a Shock team, would you recommend having her be the first one that you work on?
Yes. So let's say, would you build Trendy Cammy over
No,
Blanca?
no, I wouldn't. Um, I wouldn't because she's going to be really hard to level up.
Okay.
You're going to be able to level up the other characters much faster than you would be a Trendy Cammy, just because she is the master faction. Like
Right.
with Street Poison, she's a wind character, so you can get her through multiple
Correct.
ways. But Trendy Cammy's at a master class, and you kind of have to go all in on the divinations to even have a chance to get her to SS.
Right.
Oh my gosh, if she
Okay.
was SS, oh, it'd be over.
So let me ask you this: at what point is the character viable? Once you get one of these new characters unlocked, can you use them? Is it double S? At what point do you think?
I would say it depends on the character.
Yeah.
I think it depends on the character totally.
Yeah, it is very dependent on a lot of different factors. There are some characters like M Bison is a perfect example because already at A, in fact, I would recommend with divinations, I would recommend only getting M Bison first for sure, but only taking him to like S plus or something. That's where I left him because he has such huge value even already at A or A plus. He's basically unkillable with that passive as long as he has teammates. And then I can focus on a different character. Yeah, his damage, his abilities are nothing super special. It's all about that passive that just keeps him alive.
Yeah.
But that would be an example of a character that you could slot in at only a really, really low grade. And
Right.
there are other ones that, usually the squishier ones are going to be tougher to slot into your lineup if they're getting knocked out right away.
So
Yeah.
we've played a lot of these hero collector games, and typically when new characters come out, they're pretty OP. They can take down your other characters at a much lower power level. It's obviously, a business helps them sell the characters, right? So I'm wondering, at what point are these characters going to be
Earliest stage.
usable
Yeah.
right now? Is it going to be A plus? Are they going to be better than a lot of our S's? Is it going to be double S? Like, I wonder what they'll do to try to get us to use that character.
I don't know.
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
I,
I think it's
I-
very role dependent.
M
And I
Bison's.
think, yeah, but I mean, we do see that, I would say, already with Street Poison. I beat all of 23, all of 24, and got into chapter 25 by using an A grade Street Poison because that her first skill doing the increased crit damage was enough for my Chun Li and my M Bison to just basically roll through everything. Because if you get Bison to SS and then get his fighting spirit to 20, as soon as he goes into Infernal King, he gives everybody 20% increased damage. So the combination of that with the crit was insane. So, I mean, is a Street Poison going to beat Bison? Definitely not. But if you have the right team for it, then you can definitely see an A grade character, especially new ones that come out as we're seeing with Street Poison, absolutely change the way that your team functions.
I think your Street Poison success is Chun-Li dependent.
Oh, totally. You
100%.
totally. You have to have the right fighter doing the damage, but it almost kind of validates for early game players, I think, feeling okay with dumping a bunch of their in-game resources into one specific damage dealing fighter and then just get Bison and passively build him because you can, like Falcon was saying, you can use him as A even because let him die. He's just going to come back.
I will say this. I took my Bison to SSS and I am not regretting it. The
And for
damage,
sure, he's going to
the
be super fun to
damage,
play.
the damage is so much higher. When he explodes, it's
Yeah.
like
Oh, when we sparred the other day, it was brutal.
he had my highest damage, right? And none of my other players are weak. Like
Yeah.
I have a very strong lineup, but that Bison, um, especially if you're single target damaging and can't get to my back line, like if your Cammy only hits my Bison, it's over.
Yeah.
Like he's just gonna hit Inferno, and everybody's gonna get 20% attack. However, I will say this: I think Falcon is exactly correct. You get him to where you need him to perform a certain task. Um, and then what you use divination for is helping yourself out. It's 5,000 gems, okay? So gems are hard to come by. Um, you have to be wise about this. Uh, I wish I had not gotten him to SSS and focused on other people, but the issue was that the people that I needed to have at SSS I already had. Now I'm just wishing that maybe I had used a divination or two pull to get uh, a regular tier hero, not Inferno, not Master, but like be Zangief, for example. Right now, I can't beat this stupid stage because my B Zangief just is not quite there. And
I think
if
we
I
all should have heeded Falcon's advice earlier on when he was like, B
oh,
Zangief is the best fighter to have.
oh
And I was like, no, Chun Li. I'm going for Chun Li. I'm going to focus Bison now. And now I'm stuck too. And I know it's because I don't have B Zangief.
yeah,
They
but
have
that's
him
the
triple
logic.
S. I'm pretty happy about that.
Oh,
You
very
have him
nice.
triple S?
Oh,
What?
I'm one away. I'm
Man,
one
I'm
away. Just
jealous.
one
I'm
B
jealous.
Zangief away
Yep,
from
I'm
triple
one
S'ing
copy
him.
away as well.
Yeah. I'm too, well, he's only A plus for me, but I don't have the fodder to get him up to
Yeah.
SS plus. And then I won't have two additional A pluses to make that jump. Unfortunately, I need two more A copies plus the fodder.
Yeah, having B Zangief for those interrupts is really nice.
It's
Massive.
the only
Oh,
way
it's
Great.
awesome.
certain missions. It's the only way you're gonna get past them because the game just superpowers certain
Yeah.
people to put an obstacle in your way, and if you don't have the correct character to deal with that obstacle, you're not gonna pass the level unless you dump a bunch of money or wait half a month of idle
Yeah.
to get there.
Yeah.
And that could
Canceling
be
the enemy's combos is it's really OP in my
Yeah,
opinion.
I
I
think
think,
the interrupt mechanic is the most important thing to understand about combat.
yeah.
agreed.
And you said that weeks ago.
You said
And I
that
was
week one.
like,
All the
Week
rules
I was
one,
like,
you said
well,
that.
we'll see about that, Falcon. Well, here we are.
Let's transition here to the other new character, Street Poison. She seems pretty awesome so far. Nova, you had a lot to say. Can you tell us a little bit more about her?
I've been using her a
Like,
lot.
Nova.
So I ran through a lot of story chapters with her, like I mentioned before, as just A. And then I changed my divinations from Bison at that point because of the way that Street Poison's fighting spirit, right? That's her special like weapon or whatever.
That's the
Uh,
exclusive.
yeah, how that functions. Because if you get that to level 20, you have to go to SS and then you can unlock that. And then if you go to level 20, not only are you getting a gauge boost of 80, but then you also have a chance of stacking. It's a 25% additional chance of stacking another. It's called Toxic Love. It gives you the 30% crit damage. So if that triggers when she uses her first slot skill, you are instantly giving your damage dealers 60% increased crit damage.
Oh boy.
So that's why I validated changing from Bison and Divination because he's already SS, so I can kind of leave him where he is. I switched to her just to try to get that up. And just funny enough, I ran a bunch of divinations with the gems I had saved up, and I didn't get her at all. I got her randomly from beating Inverse World and getting all of the A shards. So I was able to do that. I think just yesterday I got her to SS. I'm still working on getting her to 20 for the Fighting Spirit. I think I'm at like 8 or something. So I have a little ways to go still, but once I get there, it'll be awesome.
So you recommend building her?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah,
She is a major thumbs up. I'm
definite.
one away from SS myself, and I can't wait. Because she's a first slot character, and you got to take that into account. A lot of these damage
Right.
dealers are second, third slot characters. So
Correct.
like having someone like Blanca, Street Poison, uh, name another one. Anybody? Top of the head? Who's the using first slot here?
Elena.
Elena, yeah, for the heal.
Elena, of course. I'm sorry, I couldn't
Yeah.
even.
still see him as his buff. But yeah, the one slot is definitely the hard one to fill.
Yeah.
I keep throwing in fighters and I have no one to do the one slot all the time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which
Something I
makes
found
Trendy
very
Cammy tough because she's a 2/3 as well, and I
yeah.
have. What do I take Chung Li out? I mean, why would I ever do that, right?
It makes you like focus on what type of damage or debuffing that you want to put in. Something really cool though that I did play around with a lot and found some success with was doing having Elena and Street Poison in, where Street Poison's in the tag, and so I've got Bison, Chun Li, and Elena on the field, and I'm actually running Elena's second skill, which is 20% defense boost, and it's a speed up. I don't remember how much speed it is, but all of that together just makes the team so fast. And Chun Li's already fast. She's just firing off her first skill and her third slot skill all the time. It's awesome.
It seems pretty awesome. Let's talk now about Gore Ken, though. We got him from the Monster Hunter event. I was stoked to get the unlock. He's a little weak for me. He's only A, so I can't really use him a lot right now, but he's got some really cool moves. Falcon, you said you used him. Can you tell me a little, or enlighten us a little bit about
I
him?
used him a lot during. Yeah, I used him a lot during the free trial period. We did have that free period where you could use him for 3 days, and so during that period, I believe I went from 1620 something through 1840 using
Wow.
Gore Ken. And he's super powerful. You'll see him a lot on the leaderboards in like the Crusade and those kind of big boss fights because he throws in those extra combo moves. His combo 2 and combo 3 are not slotted. You don't choose them. They automatically go off in addition to whoever's combos you did choose. So he's just a free combo extender in that way. Yeah, it's really, really powerful. And it allows you to just get a ton more damage per combo. The other thing he has is I have to look at this to make sure I get it right, but he got the Dragon Rage Curse, which just constantly reappears. And as you level him up, it just does more and more of these really cool team breaking debuffs against the enemy or buffs for your team as that curse expires or you abolish it by doing enough damage or the enemy takes it down. There's always penalties for where it goes. It's a very interesting but kind of confusing mechanic that he has. But definitely does a lot of, like I said, big debuffs against the other team. And then those free combo moves. What can you say?
Oh, those free combo moves are awesome. Not having to waste a spot and having Gore Ken come and jump in. Oh, it's awesome. But if you can only build one of these 3 characters, who would you build right now?
That's a tough question.
Yeah. Yeah. So who are you all choosing? What would you pick right now?
I would go Gore McCullough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that he would be top. And then between Trendy Cammy and Street Poison, it would be very tough. I think I would lean Trendy Cammy because she's brand new and she's going to be the master faction. Whereas Street Poison is just a common wind faction.
Right.
But yeah, that 130% crit boost by itself is huge, so it's a tough call.
Dirty. It's a dirty boost.
Trendy's a one, or not trendy. Street Poison's definitely like you're only getting one thing from her, and that's skill 1. I don't really see much value at this stage with like any of her other skills. I think that's just kind of her thing. So situationally, she's pretty amazing. I've already been working on her. That's who I went for. Is Gore Ken in Divination?
Gore Ken is not currently.
I don't believe that he is.
I'm looking now.
Nope, you cannot.
No.
You can't put him in. That's
Yeah,
only for the Infernal or Master faction, not legendaries or whatever he is.
Yeah,
he's like exclusive player. That's what they call him.
Basically just pay to win, I think.
Okay.
I think you could only. Can you still buy him now? Do you have the chance of him even showing up in just a regular pull?
Not currently. I
think
if there is, I don't know.
Show up in a regular poll like an Infernal or Master faction does, but it's like an astronomically low percentage, but it is technically
not gonna happen. I've gotten one, and it was like my first pull, and I was a Yuri. Since then, I haven't gotten a single one.
I just got an M Bison from just 60 of the purple shards.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, I didn't know for certain that would happen, but it apparently can.
Oh, that's how I got my Yuri. It was 60 shards. It wasn't
Yeah.
a pull.
I'm checking the standard recruit, and Gore Magala is not in it.
No,
No,
you can't
no.
get
But
him.
even just standard
There's
recruit,
no
you
way
can't get
to
him.
like grab him at all. But I'm guessing that he will become someone who shows up in something like divination later.
I wonder
But
because
we'll have
he
to
was
wait
like
and
a
see.
collaborative thing, right? With Monster Hunter.
I think, yeah.
So I wonder if I mean, I think obviously we'll see more collaboration characters like that. I wonder if eventually, once there's enough of them, if they'll then introduce some sort of like different draw for those specifically. And it'll just cost more gems to do, basically.
Yeah, that could be.
I don't know.
Just have to wait and see on that.
Okay, so if you're asking me who am I switching from N Bison to on my divinations, Trendy Cammy.
Yeah. Well, you
Yeah,
already have Shock going for you too. So I mean,
yeah.
that's
I
that's an
can't
amazing decision.
not do it. Like,
Yeah.
but since I've switched to her, haven't gotten her once. Well, I got her once for the unlock, but other than that,
That's what happened with Street Poison too.
my street
Switched
poison,
to her, got her once immediately, never got
I'm
her again.
one street poison away from that SS, and that's gonna be fun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well, if you do a 10 pull, you only have a 20% chance. So it's a 1 in 5 shot to get the fighter you want every time you do a 10 pull.
Yeah.
Oh, and when you don't get one, oh, it's just brutal. 5,000
hurts.
gems down the
It
drain.
hurts.
It
Oh,
hurts.
More
Oh.
often than not, you don't get it.
Oh, it's awful.
Yeah.
Like way more. Like Sterling said, it's 1 out of 5. So
Mhm.
Yeah. I got
There's-
2 bisons once from
yeah,
from
me
a
too.
10
Did
pull.
you
Yeah,
really?
from a,
Yeah,
yeah.
I did as well. I think
But
no one-
that was
not my
after
first
getting
fight.
3 with nothing.
Oh, so they
it
owed
was
you one.
Yeah, I guess.
So I wanted to bring this up too, real quick. I don't know if you pay attention to their Twitter, but they've been hinting that Akuma is coming out, so he's someone to look out for. He should be pretty awesome.
People are
with the
expecting him
background.
to be insane.
Yeah, with the background of Akuma, it should be pretty awesome. So we should watch out for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope that they make him flame faction because that
Oh.
faction is lacking.
Yeah, they definitely need some more.
Let's just hope that that's the case because I don't know.
There's definitely some synergies in the flame faction to be had. We see, Dulcim with
Yeah.
some other
And you've
characters.
got
the
one
burn-
doing flame vulnerability as well.
Fei Long.
Fei Long is doing that, yeah.
Fei Long's interesting.
Dulcim's damage is incredible.
All seems amazing. I use him all the time. He's one of my mainstays at this point. I love running Bison, Chun-Li, Dulcim, and Elena or Street Poison.
Oh, boys. Okay, here you go. Trendy Cammy.
Oh,
Trendy
nice.
Cammy. Let's go.
Nice.
Congrats.
Thank you.
That's
thank you.
awesome.
Only
What
took,
does that bring her to for you?
I will tell you in a second. I think A plus.
Now that we went through these characters, I wanted to bring up that Nova, you came out with your tier list this week?
I did.
Yeah, I thought so.
I did, yes.
Can you go run down your top 3 for us?
Yeah, top 3, in my opinion, if I'm going to stick with the video that I made, I do have some minor opinion changes since then. But then I put the only 2 SS tier heroes, like the best fighters in the game, I said were Bison, Elena, and Street Poison. Bison, just because I don't think anyone's going to disagree with me on that. He's one of the most ridiculous fighters in the game right now. He's a must grab, must use. There's no way around it. And then I said Elena, and the reasoning is that she's just the best healer in the game. Sakura does healing as well, but she's pay to win. A lot of people don't have her. I don't have her. And I don't think that her heal is better than Elena's based on playing against other people that are using her. I haven't really had much of an issue. And then the third being Street Poison, and that's just because of the crazy success that I found using her just as an A grade. I think as an A grade, she's going to be extremely valuable for early game free-to-play players, and it'll allow them to progress farther in the story, which will allow them to get more idol rewards And there's nothing more valuable than that. Like, truthfully, you need higher idle rewards. And then B Zangief, I said, was the number one S tier. And I'll still stand by that. I may even put him up with the other three. I kind of feel like now he's a must use.
I think you have to. I think
Yeah.
he's top tier.
Yeah.
Who else interrupts like him?
Yeah, no.
Blanca has the potential. But honestly, unless you have like really high pressure on some of your fighters and you're not like knocking the enemy team down, you're just not going to do it. It's not going to happen for you. And the cool thing about B Zangief is his move itself interrupts. It has the chance to stun, but the stun's not required for the interrupt to happen. It's
He's very
timing.
clearly built
So
for
good.
this specific mechanic.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's the best at it by far. So there's really no reason to try working with Makoto or Jen's, stuns, Blanca's. If you have Beast Zangief available to you, that's the way to go for those interrupts right now.
Definitely.
Agreed.
Let's talk about that then. Falcon, I know you had a pretty good strategy early on using manual.
Oh yeah, Falcon's famous
That's
1040
yeah,
video.
that's right. Your strategy of interrupting. Can you break that down for us and maybe just tell everyone your strategy for manual combat? I think that could help out. I like to auto tech.
Sure.
So.
And basically the key thing is special moves like Beast Zangief, like we were talking about here. His combo 2 move, the Wild Beast Spin in particular, is the most effective move right now for causing these interrupts. And what you need to do is time it out. So he's in the combo 2 slot, right? So you need to start your combo before the enemy energy gauge or combo gauge is filled up, and then hit your combo 2 or combo 1 move right around the time that they have their energy bar full and are ready to unleash their combo. And then you wait. You don't do Beast Zangief's Wild Beast Spin until you see them start that combo, and then you can tornado into it and hopefully get the interrupt and cancel the whole thing from the get-go. And if you can stack this multiple times, I have a ton of especially recently, I have a ton of levels where I've gotten so good at canceling and interrupting the enemy's combo that they do not get a combo off, but I don't have enough power to take them out, so I just run out of time.
Oh, that's so aggravating.
That is proof right there, though, that mechanic is extremely important. If it's making you not die,
Not
and
even
you're just
get
lacking
hit,
the pot, like
practically, in some cases.
it's insane. I
If-
regret not listening to you weeks ago.
If you are like me and manual is daunting, and however you still want to time out interrupts, what I do is set my combo, I start the match in manual, and I look at the energy bar of the enemy, and hover my finger over the auto button. And if you could play the mission enough, which currently I'm stuck on one, but if you play the mission enough, you can see exactly where you need to hit that auto button to start your combos to have Beast Zangief go off right when their combos are going off, and then you can auto from there. So there's kind of a hybrid way where if you're not doing manual very well, or it's just not working out, and you still want to rely on that auto, you can. So I think that has value too. But I think in the late game, if you're not playing manual to some extent, you're just not
Overpowered.
you're going to be so strong to beat these missions that you could have been 8 worlds ahead.
Right.
Exactly. You can always eventually level up to the point that you're going to pass a level, but you're going to be at a ceiling anytime you're running auto instead of manual. You're just not unlocking the full potential of the team you have available to you. Not even you just in order to get all of the power and skills that these characters have and use them to their full potential, you really do have to be in manual. Now you're going to get lucky on a lot of auto runs and things like that too. It's not like I'm against auto. I use it all the time. But if I run 5 auto matches, then guaranteed I'm going to be in manual from there on out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's not doing it, then you're going to figure it out, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, the computer isn't doing it. I don't want the computer to figure it out for me anyway. I want to win my way.
That's right. Oh,
Yep.
I love it.
Yep.
That guys,
the
that is
Falcon
the
way.
grind. That is the grind right there. That is what grind force is about. I'm gonna play my way, and I'm gonna impose my grind upon the enemy.
And I wanted to make a couple other notes since we're talking about manual mode here. Um, if you are in auto, you might notice there is a little bit of a delay. There'll be a moment where all of the portraits of your fighters highlight, and you can select them yourself. So there's that 1 second or so where the game is giving you the opportunity to decide how to start the combo, even though you're in auto. The same thing with X moves. You have that little delay, which is good. But if you press those portraits the second they light up yourself, even in manual, you can force start those combos and X moves just a little bit sooner. And in these runs where you
Oh,
start running out
interesting.
of time, that actually can make a big difference.
I didn't know that.
I'm gonna use that to optimize my B Zangief
Oh,
move
interesting.
that I'm struggling with, because maybe I could have reduced the amount of attempts by 300.
Yeah, maybe. I probably played 25, 20, 150 times. And then today I borrowed someone's B Zangief and played in manual and I beat it.
Nice.
And I didn't even lose. I didn't even
No
lose a
way.
fighter. Oh my
Trendy-
Oh,
gosh.
come on.
Yeah.
Wow.
We
When
need to
when
always
you
be
when
doing draws during these videos.
when you level her up to A+, it gives you 10 divinations, and
Oh,
I
nice.
just did them and got enough.
Oh, really? That is awesome.
Let's
Oh,
go.
man. Well, we just finished up the Monster Hunter event, and it was pretty cool. I had a great time with it. It was cool fighting the monsters, testing out, lineups. We got Gore Ken out of it, which was awesome. What'd you guys think of it?
Yeah.
You like it?
I liked it a lot.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. I liked it a lot. It was cool having like something else, like some new challenge to do every day. You could test out teams that way. You could play around with the damage and see like what performed better. It was great for testing out lineups. I found it extremely helpful and very fun as a result.
Yeah, it was really fun testing out our lineups on the monsters, trying to race up
Oh
the
yeah,
leaderboards,
it was cool.
see how much damage you could do.
Yeah.
I was going through all different characters just to try out, to see what kind of damage
Yeah.
they could bring. So I really enjoyed that.
Yep.
There's some cool little, I don't know, stores and stuff involved with it. Got some good stuff. Falcon, what'd you think?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It had like Nova was saying, a lot of opportunities to kind of play around with lineups, and just to have something different that everyone in the game is doing together at the same time is just a fun little
Yeah.
little thing.
The collaborative aspect of it was really cool.
Yeah.
Seeing other people's combos go off and
Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
and
liked it.
even the little emotes popping up, and having the more collaborative stuff like that is awesome. I want as much of that
Yeah.
in the game as possible.
Constantly threw my poison up, going, aha!
Yeah.
Like I just spammed that while I was watching the fight go on auto, just like.
I really appreciated how quickly they came out with an event like that too. A game like just came out, they're already letting you test a new fighter, they're already doing a collaborative game mode, they're already giving you some like fun new challenge to do. I feel like that's kind of infrequent with games. Like they give you what they give you, and then you got to wait a while for something new. This was like, what, 2 weeks in? We already had like a huge event.
Yeah, you get the
Yeah,
impression that they have kind of built up a timeline way
Yeah.
ahead of time before they release this game that they're knocking out and already
Yep.
have like ready to go for us.
Every time I see that maintenance notification, I'm like, oh man, what do we have tomorrow?
oh, the game is so good. And oh, I'm sorry. I was just gonna say, after the Gore Ken event, this Effigy Clash right now is so good with our guild.
Yeah.
Oh,
I love Effigy Clash so far. It is great. When it first started, I was kind of like, what is going on? We just collect these gems and build an effigy, like whatever. But then once the fighting
Yeah.
started, oh my gosh! And you just, as a guild, try to take down the other teams. I love this new game mode. It is
It
great.
was awesome.
I love it.
When the actual battle started, I just happened to still be awake at reset, which is like 2 a.m. for me. And I was like, oh, I'm just gonna take a look at this. Next thing I know, it was like an hour and a half later because I was just
Yeah.
like looking at it and fighting people. it was awesome.
Yeah, that's exactly the mode that we were looking for in some kind of guild when we were talking
Yeah.
about this game when it first came out. They delivered.
Yep.
Oh, cool.
But it took a month, you know.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
okay.
it's
Well,
not
I
bad.
think the guilds had to be established at some point, so
Yeah,
they
for
didn't want to
sure.
flood it. That's speculation on my end, but I would imagine that they wanted to allow the guilds to be established, and you know,
yeah,
now that
definitely.
they kind of are, you know, obviously, well, Rivals Dojo is one that I see all the time. Do you
Yeah.
guys see them too, or
What was it?
like
Which one is it?
Rivals Dojo is another guild that I see a lot.
I think the guilds
Um,
that you see are dependent on which server you're in. You can join any guild you want, I think, as long as you're in the right like region. But that's another issue that I think needs to be brought up is how difficult it is to search for guilds, to join guilds. You can't invite people. You can't click on guilds that your people are in that you're friends with. It's so difficult. Like if I search for our guild, I don't even find it, and I'm
Yeah.
in it. I don't understand.
Yeah. Ugh. Yeah, they really need to fix that. Uh, Part of the fun of this is, I mean, especially with this new game mode, is being a part of a guild and having your friends join. And we've got a sweet Discord going on for Grind Force right now. And we can't get members in, even though we've got open positions, because no one can find the darn thing. It's just
Dear
really
Crunchyroll,
annoying.
I'll
fix your
note
guild situation.
I'll note
Fix your
that
guild situation,
somebody in
please.
our Discord just popped up a message that said they beat a level that we have all been trying to help them
Oh, the
beat.
one that we were all helping him out on.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
they just popped up right now that they just beat
Sure.
that level. So
Awesome.
kudos to the Discord, kudos to the teamwork, and that's what Grind Force is all about. You bet.
Oh, for sure.
Well, I want to bring up something that we actually talked about as we were kicking off this discussion, like right beforehand. And that was, I think, something, JB, I think you brought it up about being able to replay old missions. That would be cool. That'd be another way to always test new fighters and new lineups. Maybe
They could
pick like the staple fights, you know? Doesn't always have to be like the final boss fight. It could be like, 1032 or 1028 or, whatever, midway battle was really difficult. And then you could just replay it. That'd be awesome.
they could set a limiter cap as to no matter who you subbed in, that node is meant for a player at that level and just capped you there. So no matter who you subbed in, that way you could try lineups, and that way you could try lineups. Like I have an idea to have a Guile, Trendy Cammy style Chung Li style armor breaking lineup. That my Guile just isn't quite there yet, and so I can't really fully try that. And I wish I could, so that I knew, hey, maybe there's an upside here. And so if they could, but maybe they just want you to do that in a different game mode.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there are other places to kind of do that a little bit, but really, I mean, what we're talking about that is kind of frustrating is that when you're limited to who you have built, right? Because if you have several SSS characters, then you're not gonna be able to try out your A plus character, no matter how good they might be in the lineup. It's hard to test that if the only challenge mode we have is always at the same level there. So if there was some kind of way, either the challenge mode or some kind of practice or something like Datscat was saying with the limiter, a level limit or something on them, just something that we could play around and try out those fighters that we can't slot in yet.
Yeah. Maybe just like a training battleground where you could pick the enemy's lineup, pick their level, pick their grade,
That
and
would be
then
awesome.
just choose whoever you want from who you have, and then you could test it out.
You
Like
could
in the
argue that would
dojo.
make the game too
Yeah,
easy,
like in the
though.
dojo, they could put a training ground in there or something.
Yeah, it seems like that's what the dojo should be for, right? Give us some
Food for
kind of
thought.
actual practice instead of just upgrades that don't do any. Well, they do stuff, but not
Let's go,
what we can actually
Debs.
do.
Come on, devs.
Come
Fix
on,
the
Debs.
guilds. Give us a training ground.
Give me my training ground now. No.
And also like Falcon said in his other video about the vehicles, get the
Oh,
vehicles
yeah, the
out of the
pathway to get to the
promotion
garage
tab.
and the workshop.
Please.
Oh my gosh.
It's like 20 tabs just to look at the vehicles.
But they're so much fun. Like when you get
They
a
are
big
cool.
monster truck SSS and you're like, "Brr, dur, 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 dur," you
And
know?
this
I
for
just
a
got my
fighter you
second
don't
ship left.
use.
Yeah.
Yeah, the cars are pretty sweet to get. I enjoy that aspect of
Yeah.
it. It's kind of different.
Yeah,
But
pretty
what
sweet.
a
like, every time I
pain
go
to
to
find. Oh my gosh. You have to go into the promotions tab, then into your
Yeah.
garage, then to upgrade. Just put a tab on the main page, please. That's all we need. We're not asking for much here.
Yeah.
If you want us to do those upgrades, then
Please.
make it doable. Thank you.
That'd be amazing. I've been playing Street Fighter Duel the entire time we've been in this chat. I'm stuck on a level I'm trying to get the RNG on.
I just got an SS out of the garage, just single pull. So yeah,
Oh, nice.
I've been doing pulls all night.
Well, that was a great discussion,
love it.
guys. I think we'll call it there. Please like and subscribe if you want to see more.
Grind
Keep on grinding. Peace.